Without further ado, Ramy Noaman.
Thank you, Yusuf. Excellencies, leaders in policy, technology, business, academia, and civil society. Welcome to the AI Sustainable Development Summit. Today is a story of zeros and ones. Zero representing emptiness and one representing completeness. Zeros and ones are the building blocks of code, computer science, and they are central to all of our technology. In policy, however, we're faced with complicated choices, and governance rarely relies on the opportunity to simplify its challenges to a yes or no, black or white, zero or one answer. In fact, today's challenges are extremely complex, requiring cooperation of the world's leading scientists, technologists, and political movers with diverse perspectives and worldviews to communicate and to act as one. In 2015, world leaders, including several who are in this room today, finalized the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, outlining the most comprehensive plan to improve the world by 2030. This is done on environmental, economic, and societal levels, encompassed in 17 goals. These goals are diverse, ambitious, and far-reaching, and most importantly, they are designed such that no person is left behind. However, these goals were designed with data in mind. For more than 2 years prior to the ratification of the Sustainable Development Goals, negotiations involved continuous engagement with the scientific community, including mathematical projections regarding how certain aspects of the Sustainable Development Goals could map onto reality over these 15 years. Thorough as they were, scientists and policy leaders have been struggling to predict the future, and however, they've designed the SDGs with a certain degree of uncertainty at the forefront of their considerations. Three main areas stand out in this regard. Number one, the SDGs are not universal in the sense that they need to be applied in the exact same situation everywhere. Rather, they are nationally specific, which means that nations, regions, and cities choose the balance that they strike in achieving the SDGs within their locality. Number two, the theme of common but differentiated responsibilities. We all want to reduce the negative impacts of climate change, but less socioeconomically sophisticated countries don't have the same burden to reduce their emissions as world leaders like China and the United States. Common but differentiated responsibilities. And thirdly, yet again, no person should be left behind. Now, policy traditionally begins in a big picture way, but technology allows for greater granularity today than it ever has before. Policy leaders can set a nationally tailored agenda, or a municipally, locally tailored one, and with the help of AI, more effectively target the marginalized and disenfranchised individuals and populations across our communities, ensuring that fewer and fewer people are left behind. This is reflected in such areas as economic opportunity, environmental sustainability, gender equity, and the peace and stability that we all need in order to achieve economic and sustainable development. Now, these challenges are ambitious, and the political will to achieve them is tremendous. The United Nations Development Program estimates that $7 trillion per year are needed leading up to the year 2030 in order to achieve the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Now, this won't be a top-down approach that will be funded entirely by government, but rather the private sector, civil society, and universities are also welcome to participate, and in fact, they're needed. So collectively, we can all contribute to the bottom line. And as they say, what gets measured gets managed. So the SDGs are not only 17 goals, but nested within these 17 goals are 169 indicators to help us identify specific, or rather 169 targets, to help us measure specific benchmarks in our progress towards these broader 17 goals. And along with these 169 indicators are more than 169 targets are more than 200 indicators to help us gauge our progress year over year, locality by locality. Now, big data and advanced analytics are crucial to monitoring our progress, just as AI can help in solving them. However, no person left behind means that this ethos needs to be embodied throughout the data pipeline. What this means for policy leaders and technology leaders alike is that in the data we collect, we need inclusive representation of all people. In the data that we store, we need it to strike the right balance between security and the protection of privacies. And number 3, when it comes to analysis, we need diverse data science teams, just as diverse as the political representation that we have and that we expect at various levels of government. And of course, the algorithms that we develop must be audited for their effects on the whole, not just the benefit of the few. Today's summit brings together the world's foremost thinkers, from government and business, from media and academia, from New York City and from the far reaches of the world. We're here to recognize our global challenges not as black or white decisions or predictions to be made, but as a colorful tapestry of opportunities in which we can cooperate to address these SDGs together. Our goal at the Sustainable Development Summit is to begin this much needed conversation, because ultimately we have one planet to share and 0 people to leave behind. On that note, I welcome you guys to the AI Sustainable Development Summit. Thank you.